Hello, I'm here at Morphicon and we're here with Jonathan, aka MrWeenieProductions. Hello.
What's going on? How you doing, man? It's been a while. It's been 2 whole years once again.
It has. It's been 2 whole years, and this time we're not over at Pasadena. We're in Anaheim. Yeah. So first of all, how are you finding Anaheim? It's a completely different place than what it was, or what Pasadena is.
Well, for starters, it's huge. There's like a lot of space, and when I mean a lot, I mean just like space everywhere. I mean the hotel's huge. The convention center is incredibly huge as well too. In fact, I think to walk from the hotel to where the center's at, I think that's maybe like about a 5-minute walk with just that alone. I mean, compared to Pasadena, where it was kind of like a couple minutes, sometimes longer if I'm taking my time. But aside from that, it's helpful because I mean, like the hotel's nice, everything's organized. The convention center is nice, and everything was cool there too. So it was fun.
Yeah, it's I like it. It's a new place. I like new places completely. So I'm going to ask you some questions. So,
okay.
What got you into Power Rangers?
That's a tough question because it's been so long since I've seen the first episode. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out the first episode I saw. I think it was Food Fight, I believe, and just like the humor behind it, and seeing the characters of Bulk and Skull, seeing how they interacted with the Rangers and how they were when they fought the monster and they worked together, and the emotion that even the principal even showed. I think his name was Mr. Kaplan, or it might be the teacher, one or two.
Mr. Kaplan,
it's because that made me think about, okay, well, if that happened at my school, my principal freaked out like that. And I was like, man, this is really cool. I think I could get into this. So I watched the next episode, loved it. I watched the next one, enjoyed it, and from that point on, I was hooked. I mean, just the whole thing about, and just, with Arthur St. John playing Jason, and with him interacting with his teammates and always being there for them when they need him. It just was very inspiring, and it's something that really showed just how strong we as people can be if we work together and fight against evil. And like I said, when it comes to that and overcoming difficulties when you're going through like an issue, whether it's like struggling with self-esteem or self-doubt, there's always a way out. And like Austin St. John once said, there's always a better way than fighting.
That's true. I think some of the main principles of Power Rangers, the stories that have gone through all over time, have kind of stuck. I know that the morals and the stories in Mighty Morphin and some of the later seasons have always stuck, but not so much with the newer ones that I think of. Food Fight, I remember that one when I was a kid, and it was something very, very different. And again, I always thought that Bulk and Skull would always be in detention. And literally, I thought back then when I was little, I was like, what happens if they're old? What happens if they become adults? They can't stay in the high school. That's insane.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, what moment out of all of Power Ranger history, from what you watched from when you were a kid, or even to further now, what has stuck with you? What is the for me? It was the command center blowing up. Then obviously Jason becoming the Gold Ranger, or the Gold Ranger entering. So, what moment really stuck out for you?
That's a tough one because there are so many moments, but So I can only pick one moment?
Yeah, or 2. Just pick. So I have 2, so you can pick 2.
Okay. Well, so for the first one was I'm not sure if people remember this one, but it was when I think Rita had this plan. I remember it only vaguely, but I think Rita Repulsa, she actually found a way to make candles because remember the Green Ranger candle and that when he lost his powers? I think it was either Rita or a monster who made the candles of both the blue, yellow, pink, and Black Rangers, and seeing also St. John, aka Jason's face when he realized that he could lose his friends, like he lost his friend Tommy, for that short time, and the emotion he showed. I mean, it was heartbreaking. I mean, it was imagine Jason as the only Ranger. And basically, it was almost like a life and death situation, where it's you have to overcome your anger and, in order to save your friends and overcome this seemingly impossible obstacle. And I think that's something that we all go through sometimes too, when we see a friend of ours who is hurt and it seems like they're at the point of no return, and we get frustrated and it really gets to us and we get angry, and sometimes, anger, the emotion itself can get the best of us sometimes. And again, it's something else as the show shows, it's always best to, maintain that and, make sure you do more thinking than acting. Because if you act on emotion, you're going to make a mistake. So it's always good to, keep those emotions in check so that when you handle the situation, you can handle it the right way with no regrets in the future.
Yeah, I like that. I never really thought that because I haven't seen that episode in such a long time. And then when you're talking about it, I was kind of visualizing it. Was it one? No, I'm thinking about the hate monster in season 3. But yeah, no, the with the candles, the way that he had to choose. I was like, damn it, Jason, that's some stuff for kids. Damn, that's some heart wrenching stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So the next one is like, why do you think from now? I know we all have our feelings on Super Ninja Steel and stuff like how Saban's been doing it for the past couple of years, but what do you think has made the show still so popular still?
I have to give it all to the fans. I mean, the dedicated fan base who longs for the days of when Power Rangers was great, and just seasons like Mighty Morphin, Zeo. I mean, even Turbo. I know that's a hated season, just like to some people, but for me it was good because it was like a transitional period where we saw new Rangers, and of course in space where it almost felt like it was the end, but we got Lost Galaxy, Lightspeed Rescue, and so on, and just the creativity behind it, being how it was very inspiring. We got different characters, and I'd say it's 100% the fans, because even when Disney bought the rights and they decided to do things their way, there were still those who were true to the franchise, and even though the ratings dropped at RPM when it got super dark, I still enjoyed it, and I still saw it for what it was. And when Saban bought the franchise back, of course, we saw the turn it took. I mean, in my opinion, Samurai was okay. It wasn't great. Then we saw the laziness really take off when Megaforce came about. Dino Charge, which was okay, well, good for its, like when it first started. Then Dino Supercharge, when again it seemingly went in that same direction as Super Megaforce did, and now Ninja Steel, which again had potential in my opinion, but wasn't really what it should have been, being how it felt like there was like a lot of lacking with the writing and stuff. But yeah, mainly just like the fans, of course, because of course there's some people out there who say that Brody is an awesome Red Ranger, he's one of the best. They say Ninja Steel's great, and I respect their opinions. And that's the good thing about being a fan of Power Rangers. I mean, we all can have our different opinions, different takes, and even as someone who doesn't really like how the show's being written or produced, like Ninja Steel, for example, Super Ninja Steel, and so on, I'm open to listening to everybody's points of view and opinions, so that way, when in case I ever want to rewatch the show or watch any of the new episodes, I could take that feedback I got from them, watch the show, and then come up with my own conclusion about how I think, in comparison with their opinions, how I feel about it. Yeah. So 100% the fans. I mean, even though Ninja Steel and all the other Neil Saban projects have been really corporate, at least in my opinion, I'd say the fans, like I said, we're very passionate. We want Power Rangers to be great like it once was, and Hasbro seems serious about making it good again. So 100% the Power Ranger fans all the way.
Yeah, I would understand that, because obviously we do quite a lot, and even the Rangers, I think on one of the panels, if I put this in the video, is it Kelvin, the yellow Ninja Steel Ranger? He was very kind of like, it's the fans, it's not us, it's you're supporting us, you're making sure that we're here, but we couldn't be doing it without you. And I like that sort of thing. I like that the fact that as fans, we can create stuff like when you create videos, like other people, they do the same sort of thing, and it's different takes. It's not the same sort of generic, oh, I really like this, and then it's something that, but you analyze it, you go into it, and you really talk about what you're passionate. I really like that. So I agree. I think it is the fans that make the show, and then help support it for a lot longer than anything really. So what made so what made you a fan of the show? I mean, was it just mainly like, say, Pudgy Pig, like that, the food fight episode, or it's like, what made you a fan to kind of keep watching over and over and over again?
That's a tough one too. Okay, well, for starters, I thought the franchise was going to end in space, because the way things played out with Zordon, giving his life, and Andros, having to destroy him to save the world, I thought that was it. I thought for sure that was going to be the true finale to the Power Rangers franchise as a whole, and it made sense, being how it was established how without Zordon there is no powers, but being how they've established basically different dimensions and universes, and how power still exists, that I found that to be very interesting and compelling as well too. And even though I took a break after Lost Galaxy for a while and didn't start watching again until I think it was either Time Force or Lightspeed Rescue, one of those two. I don't remember exactly, or it might have been Dino Thunder when Tommy returned. And then, of course, when I talked about Samurai after that long break I took, originally that was just a one-time only thing because I hadn't seen Samurai at all for, at least not before I saw the, part of that, I did see a few episodes before Clash of the Red Rangers, and I thought, hearing the Go-Go Power Rangers theme again, of course, first time seeing it, I was like, freaking awesome, this is what I know and love and remember. And even though, like, my first time viewing Power Rangers, the Neo Saban era, even at the time when I wasn't covering the show, I enjoyed it for that short time. I mean, the character of Jaden, I know there's very questionable elements about how his character was done and written and how he carried himself, as well as the emotions he showed. At least they took the time to develop, his character and the other characters. And it ended, at least in my opinion, on a very strong note. I mean, they defeated Master Xandrid. The Rangers seemingly, at least when they destroyed him, when Master Xandrid destroyed himself and the and the Megazord, I was thinking, okay, cool. But of course, Rangers came out without barely a scratch, and I was like, okay, whatever. But of course, it's Power Rangers, so I'm thinking, okay, that's got to do that. Then I saw Megaforce, and I was thinking, okay, this is going to be good. Super Megaforce, we all saw what happened with both seasons, and and originally I was going to stop watching after that point because I'm like, Dino Charge, how can it be any different than what we just saw? And then that was good. Dino Supercharged, not so good. And then I considered not watching anymore again because I'm like, okay, what now? Ninja Steel, obviously, as you guys know, I kept watching, and things ended like they did. And then I stopped watching again after episode 20 when they were like, okay, this show is done. It's over. There's going to be no more Power Rangers. I met the cast here, and of course, as you guys know, my favorite Ninja Steel Ranger is, or Ninja Steel Rangers, is Calvin and Haley, because I feel they had the most chemistry. And now I'm considering watching again with Super Ninja Steel with the anniversary episode. So again, just why I keep going back to it is that it's Power Rangers. And even though the newer seasons do have their fair share of flaws, well, a lot of flaws, as you guys know, I always know that there is that chance that it can get better. And like I mentioned before, as long as the fans are passionate and want something better, then that's what they'll get.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, if you could take the show in a direction, because I know with so many videos, like you've mentioned, the writing, the characters, especially your favorite characters, Victor and Monty. If you were in control of the series next, what would you want to put in the show?
That's a really tough one. Mainly just like good character development for all the Rangers and not leave one out like with Gia from Megaforce. I would pretty much have them all established, and I would have them show emotion as well too, like with their interactions. And in case they were having like issues with like their self-esteem or whatever, I would have it to where whenever a certain monster would challenge them, that monster, whatever theme that monster would be, like whether it was a monster that would either prey off the fear off one of the Rangers, or they would try to make one of them doubt themselves, I would have them overcome that, kind of like how in the old days with Mighty Morphin and Zeo, when Rito would have certain monsters that would go after different Rangers' weaknesses. I'll just have that too and have them grow from that, like that experience where they fought and would defeat that monster, and then they would grow from that victory. So it wouldn't seem like repetitive like with the newer seasons. I would have each character grow as each episode would go by. So that way it would make you want to tune in for the next episode, rather than with Ninja Steel where you see it and it's like, okay, if I tune in, we're just going to get this and that and get this and that, but nothing's really going to grow. We're just going to see the same thing over and over again. Brody's going to get this big superpower and he's going to know how to use it within like 5 seconds of getting it. So yeah.
Default. All right, it's new power. Oh yes, now I know how to. I never understand that. You kind of think that you'd have mistakes used, like, oh, I've got this new power, it's too powerful. Next episode, then I can train with it, and then I know the full extent of it.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, no, I do find like the Power Ranger lessons like that is very, it's, oh, I've got the power, I know how to use it. How what does it go into your brain, or is it something that it tells you or your body instantly knows? I always find that kind of really weird.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so sorry I cut you off. I didn't mean to.
That's fine.
So,
It's fine.
But yeah, no. I think if I ran the show, more dedicated writing, more character development,
Yeah.
and not really slapstick like Victor and Monty, or I'd maybe make Monty a ranger and Victor be dead jealous.
Yeah.
Having a minute. So yeah. So what after seeing the stuff from Hasbro, so we'll wrap this up quite quickly. The stuff from Hasbro, what's come out now is, what do you think about it? Are you excited for the line, because obviously they've taken over? Especially what we've seen at Power Morphicon this entire weekend.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about it?
Well, what caught me off guard was the Lightning Collection, because, and they even said publicly that with Bandai, you know, they really, I mean, of course they didn't mention them by name, but, I mean, we all know that they were lacking a lot. But right when they said weapons with the figures, I was like, yeah, they are taking this seriously. This is going to be really cool. And then they mentioned the accessories and sound effects, and I was like, whoa. So I'm thinking, yeah, I'm more excited than I originally thought I would be, and you know, Hasbro seems serious. I mean, they're not just going to play it off like, oh, Power Rangers is just it's just for selling toys. Who cares about the story? We're just gonna sell these toys, and that's it. I think they're gonna, hopefully, obviously, and you know, obviously, I don't know for sure, but I think that they are gonna take, you know, like making the franchise better, a lot more seriously than the previous owner did. As you guys know, Saban, who just, you know, wanted to play it cheap each chance he got. But yeah, Hasbro seems serious about actually investing in the brand and making it bigger. So I'm excited, and if they mess it up, honestly, I'll be surprised, because they're making all these promises. They say that it's going to be like amazing, and how the potential is pretty much endless. So it's all on them, pretty much.
I'd agree. I was very surprised at the Lightning Collection, but one thing is that shocked me was when they revealed the figure. I generally thought it was going to be something like $40. Like the amount of, like, the time they went into it, so the creases, the paint, the actual face with it.
Yeah.
I generally was like, that's got to be $40, and it was like $19.99. I was like, that's impressive. Over in the UK, it'll be the same price, but it'll be a little bit. I was just shocked about it, and especially what we've got, the footage, the new Rangers, and just everything with Hasbro. Everything's coming up Hasbro, as I'd like to say. But yeah. Well, thank you very much. So it's nice to see you, and it's going to be another 2 years when we sit down and do another one of this. So yeah, cool. So as you know, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a bit.
You rock.